Hello, welcome back. Welcome back to Send Him Off. In a week where Sergio Aguero bowed out of Premier League football with a brace, Liverpool secured top four football against all odds, and Spurs became the first English representatives in the new UEFA Conference League. There was a lot to discuss in the football world. And joining me to discuss it is my ever-present podcasting partner, Alex. It's good to be back. It's been a couple of weeks.
It's good to be back, and we've been away for a few weeks, but we're back. We're back, and we're ready for this all over. Is that what Jeremy Corbyn said? I don't want to get political, but what did he say? I can't remember. But anyway, yeah, we're back. There is quite a lot to discuss. I am quite sad that Aguero's leaving the Premier League. Very sad, in fact. Yeah. But I've got a bigger question. What's the Europa Conference? Does anyone know?
No, I don't think anybody really knows this. It's just below the Europa League. I don't think it's a bad thing. People are saying, it's a bad thing. I don't think it's a bad thing. There's more teams going to get into Europe, aren't they?
So what? It's like a qualification to the Europa League, or what?
No. It's a new tournament. It's a new tournament. There's three
European tournaments now
next year. Yeah.
So essentially, Champions League is like the top. Then you've got Europa League, and then you've got Europa Conference.
That's it.
So does that work across all the countries? So like the Welsh division, the Welsh Conference, say, or the Welsh Premier League, even.
I'm probably going to have qualifications. Yeah. Yeah. So I think
that's interesting. Anyway, heck of a tangent. I believe we haven't even said what we're talking about today.
We haven't. Today, as you've guessed from the title, is our Premier League review. So a lot to digest. The Premier League has finished for another year. It's been a long old season.
It's been a long one.
9 months, 2 lockdowns, 38 games each. It's been a wild ride, put it that way. And one podcast born out of it.
One podcast, yeah, I was going to say that.
We've come to the end of our first season. Although this isn't it. We've got a little bit more planned for you. Obviously, it's a big summer of football, so keep your eyes peeled. We're not just yet.
We're not done yet.
Shall we kick off by just talking about Man City? Because I can talk about Man City all day because they've been superb to watch this year. They've been incredible.
City have been sort of the shining light, I think, in a pretty grim season. They've been the only team I've kind of enjoyed watching. There's not too much I can say about it. It's the same thing every season with them, isn't it? Like I feel like we're starting to take them for granted.
Even last season, where they were 18 points off Liverpool, I just loved watching. Yeah, it's just so good to watch. And I will go out of my way to watch Man City play. If
I did exactly the same thing on the last day. I did exactly the same thing. All the games were on TV, obviously, and I don't know about all of them, but the majority of them were. And I only watched the City game. I was only interested in that because of how they were playing. So
and Aguero. I mean,
yeah, exactly. I knew he'd come on. I didn't even score 2. I kind of almost wanted him to just score 1, either 1, or I wanted him to get a hat trick.
See, I quite like that he scored 2 because that's what he did in his first one. Because he played Swansea, didn't he? In his first,
he was going to say he played against us.
Did exactly the same. Came on as a sub and scored 2. So
yeah, well, there we are. I suppose I didn't actually remember that.
It was quite poetic. I think he went out the way he came in.
The way he came in.
What a player though. Where do you think he ranks in terms of just quickly, like Premier League strikers of all time? Because I feel like people. I've heard a lot of debate about him and Rooney in the last week because obviously Aguero with the 2 goals overtook Rooney in terms of most goals for the club. But I don't necessarily think I don't know. Aguero's played as an out-and-out striker for the entire time, whereas Rooney really didn't. He played for about a year or so as like an out-and-out, maybe 2 out-and-out striker for United, but he was always in a front 2 or like playing just behind.
He would sit in the hole now and again, and I think obviously Aguero's tally is Aguero's tally. That was what he was brought there to do. He scored the goals. But I don't think you can base it. I know he was a striker but you can't just base it all on the goals. I know that sounds ridiculous for a striker, but in the modern day game, and I suppose for Aguero it was different to like comparing him to Rooney because they were kind of in different eras anyway. But I don't know. I think he's definitely up there. You can't question he's up there. And when he retires, he'll be in the Hall of Fame.
Yeah, there's a statue in waiting, I think.
Yeah, 100%.
Actually, I think there might actually be a statue in waiting.
I think there could be. It'd be him and Vincent Kompany.
I think it is him and David Silva and Vincent Kompany.
Oh yeah, David Silva. Yeah. Yeah.
So we've chatted about City a little bit. I mean, we could go on all day about City, but we won't keep you. Top 4. Now, United, I was really impressed with this year. Given, I know they finished second and everyone says, oh, they could have challenged, whatever. But I think they put themselves in really good stead. Like, if you look at the way Liverpool have done it over the last few years, right? So they finished like third or fourth, a couple of seasons with Klopp, and he's building it. They finished second in that big season, and then they went on to win it. I think United could well do it next year, potentially. It's
not if Guardiola's still left. Not if Guardiola's still left.
See, I think Chelsea are in.
I think Chelsea. As well. I think Chelsea have got a good shout with Tuchel. The thing about United is, right, before, when United would play, you'd have that fear factor when you go to Old Trafford and you think, oh, we're playing United. Now you don't have that. It's not the same. It's not the same as when you played like teams like City, because like United, I know they came second, and you can't be a bad team to finish second, but it just doesn't feel the same with them anymore. You don't feel frightened of them anymore. I don't personally anyway. I mean, I'm not playing them. But when I fight, when I see teams, coming up against them, I just don't feel like there's that same sort of fear.
I don't know though. I think to a certain extent, it's like, I think people are still underestimating them, and I think
that's their problem. They're Man United, they're one of the biggest clubs in the world, and they're being underestimated.
And I think there needs to be a lot more respect on Ole Gunnar Solskjaer's name, because he has improved individual players. Like Luke Shaw is the best left back in the league, no question. And if you told me a couple of years ago that would have happened, I would have laughed you out the room.
Under Mourinho, I did feel like he was hard done by under Mourinho, but I would never have said best left back in the Premier League. Never.
I think each player, more like Harry Maguire, I think has been superb this season. Maybe more on that later, because we are discussing players later on. But yeah, I think United need a bit more respect on their name, particularly Ole. I think deserves a little bit more credit for what he's done, particularly this season. I think if you look at their squad in comparison with the rest of the top 4, and it's not as good. It's just not.
For all the criticism that the Glazers have had, for obvious reasons, I think you can applaud them for keeping Ole Gunnar Solskjaer in a job, because Roman Abramovich, I think, made a big mistake getting rid of Frank Lampard. I'm not saying it was. You don't think so?
I think it was a correct decision. I think Lampard got the job too early, and I think in a couple of years, we could well see him come back.
Well, I think he'd be back sooner than we think, because the Palace job is up for grabs. I think he could well end up at Palace.
I think he'll end up back at Chelsea though eventually.
He could do, but I feel like if he had stayed, things wouldn't have been as bad as people think, because he brought in the players. I know it was his tactics and whatever, and it wasn't quite working, but he was the one that sort of pushed Mason Mount. He was the one that brought in Werner and Ziyech and Havertz. He was the one that brought them all in, and Mendy. So it was his players, and I think Tuchel even came out and said, "Well, I've got Lampard to thank, because these were all his players." Yeah. So, but yeah, I do feel like he was hard done by, but with the Glazers, you can't really take that away from them.
No. So we touched on Chelsea completing the top 4 in third place, which even a couple of months ago, if you told me they'd finish third, I would have told you you're dreaming. Liverpool. Now, I think, everyone goes on about that Mourinho season at United where he finished second, and everyone was like, oh, that was such an achievement. I take my hat off to Jurgen Klopp. He has done a superb job this season, I think. I know they lost the 6 home games and stuff, but they lost Van Dijk, who last season everyone was saying Van Dijk is the difference between not winning the league 2 seasons ago, winning the league this year. Van Dijk is the difference. Didn't have him all season pretty much. They lost Gomez, they lost Matip, they lost Henderson for a long time. I think he's done a stellar job, quite frankly.
He did very well, and especially bringing in boys from the academy as well.
I think a lot of people are going to be wary of Liverpool next year again.
100%. You can't write them off.
No, you can't. And I think people are, though, after this season. I think people are going to write him off a little bit.
That's on them, though, because you can't write them off on a season where they've had, I'm not saying practically half of their squad, but they have lost quite a lot of their squad. You can't write them off on that, and then they're still finishing. Was it third, you said?
Third, yeah.
Third, so, yeah, can't say too much. But Leicester.
Yeah, Leicester.
We were just about to move on to them.
Yeah, 242 days in the top 4 they spent, and they finished 5th.
That's just painful, isn't it?
Two seasons in a row as well. 2 seasons in a row.
I know, yeah.
And I don't know. I don't know what the matter is though, because I just don't know. It's hard to say. It's hard to put your finger on it because it's not like end of season blues because they went and won the FA Cup. Like I don't know whether it is the pressure, whether the fixture list wasn't particularly kind to them this year because they did have a tough run of games towards the end.
They don't have one superstar. I think they need one superstar midfielder. They need like a Bruno.
I raise you, Yuri Tielemans.
Yeah, okay. Yuri, he's very good.
He's young though. He's young.
Yeah, he'll get better.
Give it a couple of years. He will be that star. But right now,
he needs a superstar now. He needs a superstar to look at and sort of take inspiration from.
Even Vardy to a certain extent. Like I know he's won the league, he's won the FA Cup, played in the Champions League, but he's not the sort of player who is like.
He's not your role model, is he? And he's not going to be around.
I think he is though. I think he is. I think a lot of them look up to him, and I think he's got like a lot of respect in our team. But he's not like this. I don't know.
He's not Harry Kane.
Like, probably not the best. Not really the comparison I was going for. Like, in terms of like, you look at Milan this year, and Ibrahimovic has come in, and it's a young squad. Which Leicester is a young squad. If you look, you've got James Justin, you've got Fofana, you've got Tielemans, you've got Harvey Barnes. You've got young players, and someone like Ibrahimovic has come into that Milan squad, been there, done it, won it all pretty much, other than the Champions League, obviously.
Exactly, yeah.
And
that was the comparison I was kind of making with Kane. But like Kane is obviously this big figure. He's, scoring all the goals, whatever. But that's kind of what I mean. Like you need, like Zlatan Ibrahimovic is the perfect example. Like he is, he knows everything about the game. He's a brilliant striker. Even the defenders would learn off him. And I think that's what Leicester need to get them into the top 4 and push on further, I think.
But it begs the question, will they get the signing like that without Champions League football? It's like a vicious circle, isn't it? Really?
Yeah, exactly.
I don't know. I think, I mean, they probably did deserve it, given, like I said, 242 days.
Do you know what? I don't know. Yeah, no, I thought you were going to say.
But I think if you
finish fifth, they didn't by far deserve to finish fifth. I think Chelsea probably could have dropped out at their expense. Because it was a bit of a dodgy one, and the last day everybody was sort of in and out, and Leicester drew the short straw in the end. But
Chelsea lost and Leicester lost that day.
Yeah, exactly.
So it could have gone either way, really.
But
it's a difficult one. We'll move. Well, should we cover mid-table really a little bit? Because there's not a lot to say, is there? Arsenal. I kind of want to touch on Arsenal. Finished 8th, same as last season. Are we trusting the process still? Is Arteta the guy? Or is the club just, does it need Daniel Ek now, the Spotify guy?
I think that's where that needs to go, to be honest with you.
I think so too. But I don't think it's got much to do with Arteta, really. I don't know. I don't really know how much I rate Arteta. Like, I go through phases. Like, sometimes I think, do you know what? He's doing something there. But then other times I watch him and I'm just, I'll say it now. I do not rate Pierre-Emerick Aubameyang. Just goes missing. Just goes missing. He's done nothing this year. Pepe's done more this year.
I think Arsenal are... I don't want to say too much because I may or may get slaughtered, but I think quite a lot of their team are just a bunch of frauds. I'm not going to lie. I sound like TFE when he was talking about Borussia
Dortmund.
Yeah, shout out to TFE. But I think Arsenal are even worse than that because you've got these big players and these big names like Lacazette, and I know Lacazette will bag a few goals, Aubameyang will bag a few goals, but they just don't. Yeah. They look toothless. They just do. Like you would go to Arsenal for a day out to the Emirates. You're not going to go there to watch Arsenal. Even if everyone was away fan.
It just strikes me with Arsenal like. I don't really get the recruitment policy. Like in the last few years, they brought in Willian, David Luiz, and then they've let like Emi Martinez go, like in goals. I know he's different type of player, completely different.
Yeah, I know exactly what you're saying. Yeah,
to me, they're not bringing in quality and they're letting quality go. And I would not be surprised in the next 2 years if Bukayo Saka leaves. Which would be disastrous because, quite frankly, Saka is keeping that team afloat. Him and Emil Smith-Rowe.
Yeah,
Kieran Tierney as well. Kieran Tierney, I want to put in a word.
He was a good signing. He was a good signing
this year.
Yeah.
Arsenal,
I was surprised as good as he was.
Leeds have really impressed me this year, though. You all laughed at me when I said Leeds were a potential top 6
Well, I
side.
have to say, you're not laughing now, are you?
But on the last day, admittedly, they needed a 14-goal swing, but they could have finished top 6. And everybody all you boys laughed at me at the start of the year when I said Leeds could finish top 6, and they were only 14 goals away, which for a newly promoted side is not.
That's nothing to sniff at.
Yeah.
But I want to refer back to when Garin came on and did his What Football Means to Me episode, and he said Leeds were his guilty pleasure.
Leeds are my guilty pleasure as well.
I found the same. Yeah, I found the same thing. I did enjoy watching them because they, like he said, they go at teams and they try and win rather than play conservative, which was such a bugbear of mine this season. Every team, it was so cagey. I don't know whether it was because there was no fans or what, but just didn't really enjoy watching the Premier League this season personally.
I think it was because there was no fans. So we've obviously watched the playoffs in the Championship, and obviously the last weekend of Premier League games where there was fans. And to me, it wasn't as cagey. It wasn't as cagey. There was a lot of free-flowing football, back and forth, end to end. And I think that is because of fans. I really think they make a difference. I think that's been the biggest, not disappointment is the wrong word, biggest thing we've missed out on this season is fans. And I think teams like Liverpool with those 6 home defeats felt it. I think Sheffield United, we've spoken about this before.
We have.
Sheffield United, I think they were really poor this season, but I think a lot of the relegation troubles are down to a lack of fans, because Bramall Lane was a fortress last year. It was brilliant.
Yeah. Well, we said it plenty of times, didn't we? We said it plenty of times, and I can't disagree. So,
we'll chat about Wolves ever so slightly, because obviously Nuno is he's off. I think he's Tottenham bound personally.
You put on?
I think he might be Tottenham bound.
Good, yeah. You said that earlier, didn't it? Because we were speaking in the chat, and you did mention you might be going to Tottenham. I mentioned Conte. Who else was mentioned?
Roberto Martinez, one of our old players.
Yeah, exactly. But that'll be an interesting job, to be honest with you. Who's going to get there?
Especially if Harry Kane goes. Especially if Harry Kane goes, because I think it's a different job completely. Like if I was particularly Conte, because I think the likes of Potter, Martinez, and Nuno are probably going to take that job regardless of whether Harry Kane is there. But if I was Conte, someone who wants to win trophies, is capable of winning trophies, and is probably going to have the likes of Real Madrid, Juventus chasing him as well this summer, I would say, is Harry Kane leaving? Yeah. And if they say yes, then I ain't signing. Get away. Because I really don't know what next season holds for Tottenham if Kane leaves. I mean,
I think I'm going to say he's 80%. In my mind, 80% he's going to go.
The general consensus is he's going. He's going.
Where to? City, most likely.
Yeah, he'll stay in the Premier League without a doubt. I think he's got a shooter's record in his sights, personally.
I wouldn't blame him at all. But I think he'll get it under City, to be honest with you, because I think Guardiola, although saying that, I feel sorry for Gabriel Jesus, to be honest with you.
I really don't. He's done nothing for me. I just don't rate him. I don't think he's great. He's all right, but he's not, he's 24, 25 now. He should be starting every week. And I think this is why I'm not sure about Kane to City. Pep can get the best out of anyone, and he can play 10 blocks of wood and Phil Foden and win the league, or 10 blocks of wood and Harry Kane and win the league. But I think a lot of Man City's best football this season has been without playing a recognised striker, with a little false nine. And I don't but then again, if you watch Kane for Spurs, he sometimes does fall into that false nine role, because he lies so deep.
As a modern day striker, you've got to be able to play in that false nine too.
But I mean, if he goes to City, then Man City are going to possess the 2 best passers in potentially world football for me, Kevin De Bruyne and Harry Kane.
I can see what you mean. Yeah, he is really good on the ball, and distribution wise, he is fantastic.
Mate, sometimes when I'm bored, I go on YouTube and I just type in Harry Kane pass compilation, and I'll just sit there for hours. It's just so much fun. It's brilliant. So do we need to talk about the bottom? Well, we will.
Obvious. There we are.
It's pretty obvious. I mean, actually, to be fair, my pre-season predictions were horrifically off.
What were they?
I mean, we haven't talked about West Ham, actually. Who?
Oh wait, who did you put in your bottom three?
I find it
I
now.
forgot. Do you know what I put in mine?
Who?
Have you got mine there? No, I can't remember, mate. Oh.
I've got my this wasn't the one I done on the pod. It was one that I done in my spare time, but I can't find it now. But I put West Ham in my bottom three, and they finished 6th.
They had a really good season. West Ham.
They were superb, brilliant to watch as well.
Yeah,
but again, probably more on that a little bit later, maybe.
They've overcome the sort of the problem they had with the Olympic Stadium. I think.
Yeah,
I think this season, probably benefited them not having fans.
I was about to say that. Yeah.
Do you know what I mean? They got used to it, sort of thing, and now hopefully the fans will get on their side. But
definitely.
We'll see next season. We
shall. Shall we do our team of the season?
Why not? That's what you're to do.
So what formation have you gone for?
Well, I think in keeping with what the theme is of the last few years, I've gone for 4-3-3 or 4-1-3 or
4-3.
However you want to look at it, 4-3-3.
Yeah, I've gone 4-3-3.
Well, of course,
goalkeeper.
I couldn't do it normally. Well, there we are. We'll start with the goalkeeper. Of course, we will. I've gone for 2 goalkeepers.
Lovely. Oh, I've missed this, the squad builder. I've missed this. We haven't done one in ages, have we?
I do. I love a squad.
We love a squad builder.
But I love the squad builder.
Oh.
My goalkeeper, I put down Edison first of all. Because he had Golden Glove. He did have Golden Glove, didn't he?
Yeah, he did, yeah.
But I couldn't overlook Emi Martinez.
I was close to putting Martinez in, but Edison gets mine.
Yeah.
Instead, is it? Yeah, I mean,
I knew with my first
I wouldn't argue with that either, really.
No,
it was,
I couldn't.
Phone's ringing.
That's Martinez wondering why I'm putting him in.
Sorry, Emmy. We'll have him on next year. We wish. Right back, for me, there was only one in this. Cancelo.
Who have you got? I've got Cancelo as well.
To be fair, I say that. Soufal.
Yeah,
Soufal
as well. Fofana.
Yeah.
Fofana's a right back, isn't he?
No, he's centre back, I think. He's centre back.
Well, there we are. I don't know, but I had to go for Cancelo.
Yeah.
I had to. No argument, really.
I think we've both got one centre back.
Yeah, we both got.
Everybody's got Ruben Diaz in their team.
Ruben Diaz, easy.
Outstanding.
There's not too much, so far this team's picking itself. There's not too much we can debate about.
And they're all Man City.
They're all City players. So what does that tell you? I think we're going to differ on this one.
Second centre back.
I know who you've got, and I don't think you know what I've gone for. I've gone for John Stones.
Have you? I was very close. I went, and I might get my head bitten off of this. I went for Harry Maguire.
Yeah, I thought
because more for the fact, if you'd asked me 3 weeks ago, I would have put Stones. But United have looked so poor when he isn't there that you then go back and notice everything he does.
Yeah, it's true.
And he gets a lot of stick, and I've leveled a lot of criticism at him before. I think everybody has, rightly so at times. Last season particularly, he was a nightmare at times. But I think this season he's been so good for United, and they would not have finished second without him.
No, he's been the captain this season.
Yeah, he really has.
And it's probably about time for him, but I won't disagree. He has been important for them.
Yeah,
but I picked Stones because I thought.
I couldn't disagree with Stones either. It was a toss up between the two. Like Stones, for me, has just looked so much better because of Ruben Diaz this year. Like Diaz has come in and just, which I think is why Kurt Zuma looks so good as well, because Thiago Silva's playing with him.
Thiago Silva, yeah.
Kurt Zuma 2 years ago, he was loaned out to Everton.
He went to Everton, yeah.
Horrific. Silva's come in and done
well. I
well.
worried about John Stones when he went to City because I thought he's another £50 million player, sit on a bench. He'll end
like
up
another Jack Rodwell, really, isn't it?
Exactly, yeah. I thought he wasted time to go, like what Scott Sinclair did with us, went there and ended up at West Brom or whatever it was. But, he's come into his own and fair play to him.
Because that was a period of time around about the period of time where City were just signing people just for the sake.
Yeah.
Like they signed Bonnie, they signed Sinclair from us, they signed John Stones, Fabian Delph, who I know is still playing there, but why? Does anyone know why he signed?
Scott Carson. He got a trophy at Metro, didn't he? Yeah, he's still there.
He played a couple of weeks ago, didn't he?
Yeah.
left back picked himself for me. There's only one.
Luke Shaw.
Yeah, Luke Shaw. Honourable mention to Zinchenko, and particularly an honourable mention to Pep Guardiola for making Zinchenko one of the best left backs in the league.
But again, he was a good left back because of that inverted full back system, I think.
Yeah. So they kind of jump into the midfield, don't they?
Yeah, exactly. Yeah. So
which, if you haven't seen the video on it, watch it. It's honest. Did I send it to you, or did you send it to me?
You sent it to me. No, you sent it to me, and I saw it, and I thought, this is poetry in motion.
It was art, wasn't it? Yeah, like you said. I've gone 3 centre mids. Like, sort of, they can just. I'm just letting these 3 just play.
I think they can. I've gone for 4 centre mids, but I've got, an option of 1 or 2. I'll explain. I've gone for Kevin De Bruyne.
Have you not gone 4-3-3?
Yeah, no, I have, but I've gone for like 1, 2, and then one or the other.
All right. Okay. Yeah. I've got Kevin De Bruyne. Kevin De Bruyne is in. Yeah.
He just walks in.
Bruno again. No need to say anymore.
So we'll keep everyone happy. All this Bruno, Kevin De Bruyne.
Everyone's happy in it. They're both in the team. Miles.
No. Yeah, Miles. Now this one, I don't know. Okay, I've gone for Lingard or Mason Mount.
Fair. Yeah. So my 2 were Ilkay Gundogan and Mason Mount, but I went for Gundogan in the end. I just think
here's my thing with Gundogan. He has been one, and I've had him in my fantasy team, and he picked me up quite a lot of points, which I'm bless up Ilkay Gundogan. But I thought Lingard, he virtually changed that West Ham team.
Yeah, but
so I had to at least mention him. But Gundogan I did think about him. I really did. But no, I don't know who to pick though, Mount or Lingard. So for
me, Mount has been one of the best players. Been one of the best players this season. He's been outstanding to watch.
By far.
Right wing.
Oh, Salah. I went for Mohamed
Salah. He dragged Liverpool to 3rd, didn't he?
Yeah,
dragged Liverpool. Mane joined in on the last day, but other than that,
I was going to say Mane went missing quite a bit this season. I was pretty disappointed with Sadio Mane.
Sometimes his attitude doesn't look great, I think.
And I think
he's argued with Klopp a few times this season.
That was an example the other week when he sort of didn't shake his hand or give him a hug or whatever it was.
Yeah, like you interested. Firmino has been good this season. I think he's chipped in with a couple of really important goals, which he's had a lot of criticism for the lack of goals before. But
I don't know why though, because I know people talk about him being a defensive striker, and it's that sort of old joke, defensive striker. But I think it makes perfect sense to have him in that system. We
spoke about this the other day, didn't we? I think it was when we were talking about the Swans with Jordan. And I think one of us made the point that he's not in that team to score 30 a season.
I think
that's Salah and Mane's job.
Yeah.
Firmino is there to facilitate that. And he does it brilliantly.
Exactly. And I don't see anything wrong with that. I really don't. No. Even though he's not getting the goals, your team is winning. The system's working. If it's not broke, don't fix it. But on the other side, I've gone for Phil Foden.
Have you?
Yes.
See, it took. Yeah, I'm going to go for Foden as well. I'm changing my mind.
What did you have?
I had him in Song.
Do you know what? I was thinking about Son quite heavily.
I can't not put Foden in that team.
Without Harry Kane, I don't think Son was. I think if Harry Kane goes next season, then we'll see the real Son.
I think it'd be really interesting.
If he's as good as we think he is.
Because Kane was injured for a while this season, just a little bit.
Yeah, and Son didn't look as good as when Kane wasn't injured.
Bale sort of carried the team when Kane didn't play.
I think Bale is going to be quite a big miss next season for Tottenham because he said he's got something lined up. What it is, we don't know. All we care about is Wales at this point. But
I think all he cares about at this point is Wales.
Exactly. But no, next season, I think Son's season is going to be one to watch.
So
we'll see.
Striker. I mean, there's only one in there. Patrick Bamford. No, honourable mention though to Bamford. Am I lagging or are you lagging?
One of us is lagging. We'll find out.
One of us. Yeah. Who cares? We've come this far without it. This is a new record. Harry Kane. Yeah. I mean, assist leader, goals leader. Not much more to say, really, is there?
No.
What a player.
No,
What a player.
you can't. But I think you were talking about Bamford while I was lagging, or one of us was. But I think he had a very good season, and I think Ollie Watkins had a good season as well.
Yes.
Good first half of the season.
And Calvert-Lewin, really.
Yeah, and
first half.
First up until sort of October, November.
I think Bamford's really unlucky to miss out on the Euro squad.
Yeah, and I do.
But if you look at the options Southgate's taken, so we're doing a Euro special next week, so
yeah,
2 minutes. We won't dwell too much on it. But if you've got Watkins, Calvert-Lewin, and Bamford as a 3, if you're looking at who can do the most in any system that's not Bielsa ball, then it probably is Watkins and Calvert-Lewin.
Yeah, Calvert-Lewin in particular, to be honest with you, just because
I'd say Watkins.
Really?
I'd pick Watkins over Calvert-Lewin.
Would you?
Yeah, I think he's quicker. He's more dynamic. He offers more, like in the way of creativity, everything. I think he's a more rounded player.
I can't really disagree with that. I do want to talk just briefly, because this team of the season, if you would ask me back in August or September or whenever we started this podcast, there would have been a name on this sheet. Well, a name that's not on this sheet, but I would have put there. And that name is James Rodriguez.
Yeah, I been a bit disappointing for me.
When this in,
it was like the whole
league for a long time.
About first 6 games or so, they were, it was Everton. Yeah. Everton were going to win the league, weren't they? First 6 games.
Exactly, yeah.
And then Spurs were going to win the league. Then Southampton were going to win the league.
And then in the end, the obvious happened.
And then City kicked in. Then didn't they? A bit of a slow start, but they got going in the end, as Pep always does, really, doesn't he?
But
so there we
are. James Rodriguez, disappointed with him.
Yeah, that's the team of the season. Would you put him as your flop of the season then?
Only because I can't think of anybody else off the top of my head. But I'm sure there are.
Brewster.
Oh, I don't want to say Brewster.
23 million.
Yeah,
goals, 0 goals.
I don't want to say Brewster though.
Neither do I, but I think I don't know.
It might be right.
Shall we give out some awards?
Yeah, let's give us some awards. These aren't
awards, mate.
Hang on.
These aren't the. Go on. Try and get the name right.
Wait there. Hang on. These aren't the.
It's a PR disaster.
Show us.
Send him off awards. Show us.
Send him off awards.
Yeah, they aren't the show us. These are our end of season awards, which there's no acronym for that. The Dafters.
Arguably less important.
The Dafters.
The Dafters, they are. Yeah.
Lovely. Shall we start? Player of the season.
Harry Kane.
Really?
Yeah.
I've gone Ruben Diaz.
Oh wait, yes, Ruben Diaz. Sorry, yeah. I crossed out Harry Kane. I don't know why I read that. Yeah, Ruben Diaz. I completely agree, and I've agreed with you all season. From whenever.
We've said that for a long time, haven't we? I feel like we were saying that before the pundits were saying that. So if you're listening,
keep an eye out for us, guys.
Yeah.
We said it first, but yeah, Ruben Diaz, 100%. He was a magnificent signing. Shout out to the scout, whoever it was.
Definitely. Shout out to him. Incidentally, he's also my Benfica.
They're known for that kind of thing. They're a good sort of exporter of players.
He's also my signing of the season, if we're doing that.
I've got 1 or 2. Well, I've got Ruben Diaz and someone else, but we'll get on to that later.
All right. Manager of the season.
Oh, manager! I forgot to do manager of the season. This is off the top of my head now. Obviously, I've come unprepared for that one. Manager of the season. Pep's in there.
Yeah. Oh, I mean, it's got to be. I think my vote goes to David Moyes.
Yeah, I was going to say David Moyes is in there. Tuchel's in there.
Ollie's in there. I think Ollie's in there.
Ollie's in there. I agree. Yeah.
Bielsa as well could well be in there.
Yeah. Yeah. Actually,
for me though, David Moyes, like we did at the start of the season. If you've not listened, go back and listen after this. We did an unfulfilled potential. Ooh. Try again, Sam. We did an unfulfilled potential 11, and we picked our manager as David Moyes. We sort of gave him a bit of stick and mocked him a little bit, and we're not laughing anymore.
No,
I think he's done a magnificent job with that group of players. Thing is, I think this West Ham team is really similar to in size and stature and position and everything to the Everton team he took over in 2003.
Yeah.
And he did wonders with them. He
that
got into
Everton,
Europe.
Yeah, exactly. That Everton team was a good team, and he was quite well respected at Everton.
Well, he got the United job off the back of that.
Yeah, exactly. I think that had a lot to do with him being Scottish and working in the north as well, if I'm being honest with you. But you know, didn't his contract only run out with United like last season?
Yeah, I think it was last season.
But yeah, no, I can't. It's probably between David Moyes and Pep Guardiola. But the thing is, like I said earlier, we're getting so used to Pep Guardiola. It's almost like we're taking him for granted.
With that 100%.
You know, because
any other season,
full back system, like it's you know, he's changing football in front of our eyes.
Any other season, Pep would have walked that. But I think David Moyes has really put some respect back on his name and sort of proven everybody wrong. And, you know, it's his second spell at West Ham. The first one was a disaster. It was awful. They nearly went down. Like, I had them pegged to go down this year. Like, they were in my bottom three. And they finished sixth. So, or seventh. No, sixth.
Fair play to him.
Young player of the season.
I got 3 options.
I think that there's quite a lot this year.
Yeah, there is quite a few. Phil Foden was the first name. Ruben Diaz was the second name.
Yeah, because he's only like 22, isn't he? 21.
He's not very old. And Mason Mount was the third.
Yeah.
Because he's not very old either.
Fofana is another shout for me.
Fofana as well,
incredible.
Even Tielemans.
Yeah, even Greenwood, potentially.
Yeah,
Saka,
Greenwood and McTominay.
Yeah, maybe.
He was okay. McTominay, I think I didn't expect too much from McTominay. And I think he exceeded expectations. Not to say he was, world class.
I think there's more to come from him. He's very much a Michael Carrick, where a lot of the work goes undone, but in a couple of years you'll go flip it. How important was he to that team?
Yeah.
I've gone Phil Foden personally.
Does Marcus Rashford count still? Young player of the year.
I mean, I think he's probably, with all due respect, he's probably done more off the pitch than on the pitch for me this year.
Yeah.
I went Foden personally.
Yeah, Foden was the first name of mine. Too really. Enough said.
We've agreed on all of these.
We have been unbelievably harmonious so far.
Signing of the season.
Signing of the season. Right, as I said, you said it was Diaz. Yeah. I said Diaz or... Can you guess?
If it's the other ones, I had 3 contenders in this one. So I had Ruben Diaz, Edinson Cavani, and Jesse Lingard.
It was Edinson Cavani was the other one. Jesse Lingard, I'll come back to him later. But it was either Diaz or Cavani. And I want to go Cavani, right? Only because I think he's the player I think Man United were missing.
He's the what we were on about earlier, the Ibrahimovic kind of player. Comes in.
And do you know what? I didn't see him as that player. I thought he was a bit of a nobody personally. I thought he'd get exposed.
We actually laughed when he signed. We were like, what a waste of money that is. Like, I know he's free, but the wage was astronomical.
Yeah.
We all said there we go, another number 7 now, because they've all been rubbish.
Another Michael Owen, whatever. And he's turned it around.
He has really turned it around.
Fair play.
See what he does tonight in the Europa League final.
Yeah. It's on BT.
It is on YouTube. It's streaming. It's actually on now. We are recording on Wednesday.
We're on Wednesday evening.
Goal of the season. Did you do one?
I did. I couldn't really think of too many that stood out, but I went for the one that I remember watching, and I actually verbally was like, oh, like I did a Gary Neville basically, and that was Son versus Arsenal Is that the one you've gone for?
I couldn't decide between 3. So mine was Son against Arsenal. Lamela is Rabona in the reverse.
I did think about that one.
And Lanzini against Tottenham. The volley.
Oh yeah.
Half volley.
Yeah, I remember that one. Not Lanzini. Eric Lamela's I thought about, but I thought if I was being picky, it wasn't clean enough for me. So I know that's a bit of a nitpicky thing to say, but Son's it was beautiful to watch.
I'm willing to go for Son.
That's the one I'd pick personally.
Lovely. Have we got any
Is it
more?
one? I think it was most improved. Yeah.
Jesse Lingard.
That's who I picked. I picked Jesse Lingard. That's why I didn't go for sign of the season, because I went for most improved. At United, I thought he was a joke. I genuinely thought he was just a meme.
More interested in TikToks and stuff, wasn't he?
TikTok, dancing, his image, everything. But he's gone to West Ham. And I think we both said it earlier in one episode. I can't remember which one. But if West Ham offer to keep him, sign the contract now. Don't go back to United.
Pay anything as well.
Yeah, pay whatever you can afford. Pay that, and because I don't think Manchester United is the answer for Jesse Lingard.
Well,
there we are.
I think we finished. This is the end of our first season. Well, our first Premier League season. But tune in next week, where we'll have a Euro special.
We'll have our Euro heads on, our international football heads.
Yeah, where we've got two very special guests.
Indeed, we have.
Shall remain secret until now. Anyway, we will see you next week for the Euro special. We hope you enjoy the playoff final this weekend. Alex will, he's in Wembley.
I managed to, honestly,
tickets.
Before we came on air, well, I say air, before we started recording, our mate Garen, we spoke about it, he rang me up, he said, mate, we got tickets. I nearly lost it. I nearly fell down the stairs, let me tell you. But yeah, for those of you who actually care, I will be in Wembley. And by the time you're listening to this, actually, I would have already been. So, oh, wait, no. Hang on, when does this go out?
You're on your way.
I'm on my way. Here we
He's
are.
on his way.
When it goes out, I'm on my way.
He's on his way. Yeah. And then Champions League final on Saturday. In a one word, who's going to win Champions League?
Sergio Aguero.
Do you reckon? It's written in there. It's written. It is written. So there you have it. The send them off prediction. That's the end of our Premier League coverage for 2020-2021. Thank you for listening all season. Thank you for putting up with us.
Yeah, thank you for bothering to
thank you for humouring us. We will be back. We will be back next season. We've got lots and lots planned. We are ready. The minds are already going. We're already planning. We've got a lot planned for you. Big plans. Big plans.
Big plans. Trust me.
So we will we'll see you next week for the Euros. But if you're not an international football fan, then we'll see you in September.
We'll see you in September. There we are.
Thank you for listening. Have a good summer. Have a good week. Enjoy the Champions League final. And Wembley. Enjoy Wembley.
There we are, yeah. If you're going, enjoy Wembley. I will.
Say hello to Alex.
Yeah, say hello to me. Ask for my picture.
If he gets recognised, right? If someone stopped him and goes, the geezer from the podcast, right? Oh my God, he would die.
I could die happy. It'd be the best day of my life.
Say that to our 4 listeners. Anyway, yeah, thank you for listening. I'll leave you go now. Have a good week. Ta-ra.
Take care.